Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 personal favorite Albert Brooks' movies. Yes, Albert Brooks is a pretty, I guess, sort of underrated actor, and honestly, he is one of my favorite comedic actors and one of my favorite comedic directors. Yes, he's acted in a lot of movies, but he's also written and directed a lot of movies, and I thought I'd celebrate Albert Brooks by giving my top 10 personal favorite Albert Brooks movies. And yes, some of these movies he's just an actor in, some of them he's not very big in it, but he's just so good in it, and some of these movies he even wrote and directed himself. So let's get started. Here's my top 10 personal favorite Albert Brooks' movies. Alright, coming at number 10 is the Simpsons Movie. Yes, the Simpsons Movie is a weird choice because he's not one of the main characters, and it's the Simpsons Movie, and Albert Brooks has actually played in the Simpsons before, and actually one of my favorite episodes when Homer goes to the new town and Albert Brooks plays his new boss, Hank Scorpio. Yes, he's basically this villain guy, but he's like a super nice boss, but he's like an evil villain, like a James Bond villain, and such a funny classic Simpsons episode. But he's also in this movie as also the villain. The villain is Russ Cargill, his name is. He's this political figure. Basically, he wants to barricade Springfield into this big dome and eventually blow up Springfield. And yeah, he's basically this political villain and stuff. And yeah, he's so funny in this movie. I freaking love him as the villain in The Simpsons Movie. The Simpsons Movie is the last good thing The Simpsons did, because I love The Simpsons. Seasons like 1 to 12 is like fantastic. The show just went way down, and it's still way down, but The Simpsons Movie was hysterical. It was so funny, and I love Albert Brooks' character in this movie. Like, I love the scene he's like, "Sir, you're drunk with power. Have you ever been drunk without power? It's boring. No one listens to you. I'm the captain, and I'm a duty." Like, it's so funny. He's so great in this movie. I love him as a villain. I loved him in the show as a completely different character, but he's in The Simpsons Movie, and he's just so funny, so hilarious, and yeah, it's my number 10 spot, The Simpsons Movie, because it's awesome. It's The Simpsons. The Simpsons. Da, 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 da. Coming number 9 is The Most Violent Year. A Most Violent Year came out, 2014? Yeah, 2014. Yeah, 14, I think, yeah. This movie's great. It's written and directed by a brilliant screenwriter and director, J.C. Chandler, who did movies like Margin Call and stuff, and I think he co-wrote The Ides of March, and this movie is fantastic. Oscar Isaac is brilliant. Jessica Chastain, I think, steals the movie. She's so good in this movie. But Albert Brooks is also a supporting role in this movie. He is fantastic in this movie. This movie is so good. I won't spoil it because I know a lot of people have never even seen this movie yet, and check it out. It's fantastic. Again, it's a pretty slow-paced, dramatic thriller, but it's a very smartly, tightly written movie, and it's fantastic. If you're a fan of J.C. Chandler's work, then you will freaking love this movie. This movie will blow you away because it's brilliantly paced, brilliantly executed, wonderfully structured, and it's just a very good, deep, thrilling movie, and I freaking love it. I love the topics, I love the story, and I love the ideas about this movie, and I love these characters. These are very complex characters, and yeah, Albert Brooks, like, really held his own with these two great actors. Chastain and Oscar Isaac were both brilliant, but Albert Brooks was also fantastic in this movie. Check this movie out if you haven't seen it. It's so good. Coming number 8 is Modern Romance. Modern Romance actually is a movie written and directed by Albert Brooks himself, and it stars him and Katherine Harold, and basically this is a very simple, sort of low-budget romantic comedy, and it works. It's really good. It's deep, it's realistic, it's at times thought-provoking, and it just works. It's nothing amazing. It's not the best rom-com out there. It's definitely not the best movie Albert Brooks has directed, but it's a really good movie. It's sweet, it's lighthearted, it's funny, it's romantic, it's dramatic. The two performances are really great, especially by Albert Brooks, and the chemistry's there, and it's really good. I just really like it. I love how simple it is, I love how to the point it is, and it's just a damn good Albert Brooks movie. Coming number 7 is Real Life. Yes, Real Life is the first, I think, the directorial debut of Albert Brooks. And in this movie, he plays Albert Brooks. And basically, he's a filmmaker. Basically, he wants to make a movie about real life, a real life family. And yeah, that's basically just the story. It's a comedic movie, and it shows the process he goes through of how to make this movie, how to find this family and stuff. It's so great. Charles Grodin is also in this movie. He's so funny. I love the idea of this movie. I love the premise of this movie. I love Albert Brooks Brooks' writing and direction. It's so funny. The ending is hilarious. The constant movie references are freaking hilarious and so genius, and I love it. This is one of the reasons why I just love Albert Brooks. Coming number 6 is Lost in America. Lost in America, another movie directed by Albert Brooks, and this stars him and Julie Haggerty, and basically the story of this movie is about a guy who quits his job, and basically him and his wife just go on this road trip and just travel all through America, but eventually they lose all their money, and basically they're stuck in like one of the worst parts of America and stuff, and basically they gotta live low class and try to survive in this America, and basically they're trying to show that money doesn't matter, but by the end of the movie it shows that money does matter. It's really funny, it's really realistic too, and I just love it. It's so funny. I love the pacing of this movie. I love Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty. They're both so great together. The gambling scene is so freaking funny, and how they lose all their money, hilarious. The ending of this movie is so funny. I love it. It's hilarious. I didn't see it coming. I thought I could predict the ending of this movie, but nope. It goes sort of the realistic route, and it's so freaking funny. I love Lost in America. It's so good. Coming number 5 is Broadcast News. Broadcast News is actually directed by James L. Brooks himself, and it stars Albert Brooks, William Hurt, Holly Hunter, and yeah, this movie is just so freaking good. It's basically about a news crew. Yes, the reporters, the anchors, people, the managers, the cameraman, all the people in this news station, and it's so good. I love how they tackle the media and stuff, and how the realism of the media and stuff. They talk about a lot of social issues. Jack Nicholson's also really good in this movie, very small role, and it's great. It's hilarious. William Hurt is really good. Holly Hunter is fantastic, but Albert Brooks steals the movie. He was nominated for supporting actor in this movie. He probably should have even won, because I love this movie. This is probably my second favorite James L. Brooks movie, as good as it gets being my favorite, but storied. I just love the idea of the media and stuff, and it's funny, it's comedic, and it's brilliantly written, and I just love it. It's my 5th favorite Albert Brooks movie. Coming number 4 is Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Yes, an animated movie starring Albert Brooks. He plays Marlin the clownfish. That isn't very funny, but I love it. I love Pixar movies. I love animated movies, and this movie's so good. These movies are so good. Finding Nemo is a fantastic movie. The beautiful animation design, so gorgeous. Andrew Stanton did an amazing job directing both of these films. I love it. I love the first one. It's just about a father-son relationship and learning to treat your son like an adult and know he can look after himself. And I love the relationship between him and Dory. It's not a romantic relationship. It's actually a genuine friendship. I love the adventure story about Finding Nemo and stuff. It's so good. Finding Nemo, amazing Pixar movie. Finding Dory is more about Dory, played by Ellen DeGeneres. Such a good movie too. I love them both equally, and I love Albert Brooks' character, Marlin the fish. He's probably like my favorite character in all these movies. He's just so good, so interesting. I love the overprotective father character, and again, he may try to be... Yes, see, I know he's the unfunny character, but sometimes his unfunny jokes come off really, really funny. And yeah, Albert Brooks is just a good actor. He's a good voice actor for animation. I just love Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, both amazing movies. Coming number 3 is Defending Your Life. Defending Your Life, again, another movie written and directed by Albert Brooks himself, and starring Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep. Basically, the story of this movie is about a guy who gets into an accident and dies and goes to heaven, I guess. Yeah, it's heaven. And basically, when you get to heaven, you have to defend your life. You basically have to plead your case and tell them why you should stay in heaven, or you get reincarnated and go back to Earth. So basically, you defend your case and try to stay in heaven, or you go back to Earth, reincarnated as something else and stuff. And basically, that's the gist of the story, and that is such a cool, original, fresh idea for a movie. I love that story. I love this premise. And I love Albert Brooks and Meryl Streep in this movie. They both have great chemistry, and they're both friggin' hilarious in this movie. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's just a great movie. Coming number 2 is the movie Mother. Mother is, oh, so good. This, again, written and directed by Albert Brooks. This is my favorite Albert Brooks movie that he directed. This movie is amazing from start to finish. Albert Brooks is so good in this movie, and so is Debbie Reynolds, who plays the mother. It's so great, it's so realistic, the comedy is hysterical, the dramatic scenes just work. I love the story about a guy who gets divorced twice, and basically he blames his mother for everything, so he goes to live with his mother and find out why he blames her for everything. And when you find out why, it is so freaking good. It's so good. Again, this movie isn't formulaic, it isn't cliched, it isn't predictable. It's very real, it's very powerful, and it's just so well directed, and I freaking love it. Again, this movie is like another reason why I just love Albert Brooks. And my number one favorite Albert Brooks movie is Drive. Yes, Drive. I know everyone's like, oh, this is not an Albert Brooks movie. This is a Nicholas Winding Refn movie or a Ryan Gosling movie, but I consider it also an Albert Brooks movie, even though he is a supporting role. Honestly, this is hands down his best performance of his entire career. I love Drive. Drive is fantastic. It's the greatest art house action movie I've ever seen. Nicholas Winding Refn's direction, it's fantastic. Ryan Gosling's so good in a very quiet and subtle role. I love everyone in this movie. Bryan Cranston's fantastic in this movie. Ron Perlman's great in this movie. Everyone is amazing, but Albert Brooks steals this movie. Carey Mulligan, Oscar Isaac, they're also great, but Albert Brooks as the villain in this movie is brilliant. He's a very charismatic villain at first, but then you find out he's a very intimidating and scary villain. I don't know why he didn't get an Oscar nomination. He was nominated for a Golden Globe, but not an Oscar, and it confuses me. He is so freaking good. The best performance I've ever seen him give in a movie, and that's saying a lot because he's done a lot of great movies, and I just love it. Drive is just a personal favorite of mine, and I just love Albert Brooks in this movie, and yeah, it's my favorite movie he's in. So yeah, that was my top 10 personal favorite Albert Brooks' movies. So in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this top 10 list? If not, give me your top 10 favorite Albert Brooks movies. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.